Hi, this is Krista Becker, and I'm going to tell you about my Spiderscribe map. My theme is farm animals, and my grade level is first grade. Their first exposure, we're going to start by watching the YouTube video of The Big Red Barn by Margaret Wise Brown. And while we're watching it, I'm going to pause periodically to ask the kids questions about what's going on in the story.
By Margaret Wise Brown. Pictures by Felicia Bond.
So I'll probably start by asking them what animals they see on the front and where they think those animals live. Where I'm looking for would be that they live in a barn or on a farm, that these animals wouldn't be found in town, except for maybe the cat and the dog.
By the big red barn, in the great green field. There was a pink pig who was learning to squeal. There was a great big horse and a very little horse.
So, for example, here I would stop it and I'd ask them if they know what a baby pig is called. The answer I would look for would be a piglet, and then what a baby horse would be called would be a colt or a foal. And that's what I will do throughout the whole story. So, after we watch that, I guess the standard for that is ask and answer questions about key details in a text. So we'll watch the whole thing, and then we can always go back and watch different parts if they weren't quite sure about something. We can go back and do that. For my second exposure, we're going to do animal gestures, and that's going to take part for language arts and for drama. And what I'm going to do is make a barn like this one shown. And this barn is going to be part of gestures. What the kids are going to do first is they're going to pantomime an animal from the book. So I'll just have all of the different animals put on a piece of paper and in a cup for them to draw out, for them to act it out. And I'll tell them that they can't say any sounds at first. They just have to try to act like the animal. So if the class can't guess what their animal is, then they can make the sound of the animal. And after they reveal the animal, then we're going to use the barn to show another way to guess the animal. So if we go back, like the example they have on the barn is, I wonder what's in the big red barn. I wonder what's in it for me. It starts with the shh. And I'll go more on the sounds instead of and the letters. So I'll say it starts with SH, which makes the, and I'll see if the kids can say the shh sound. And it rhymes with beep. Oh, what do you think it would be? And then hopefully the kids would guess that it is a sheep. So then for pig, we would say it starts with the p sound and it rhymes with big. For horse, it starts with the h sound and rhymes with coarse. And then for cow, I will say it starts with the k sound and rhymes with how. For hen, it starts with the h sound and rhymes with pen. And I'll make all of those cutouts to put on that poster. My third exposure activity is animal flashcards. I'm going to have the students color pictures of a pig, cow, chicken, horse, and sheep, and they'll get to choose what color that each of the animals actually is. They don't get to just make a blue chicken. I want them to be correct with what the animal could actually be. And then I'm going to have them practice using light, even strokes on their flashcards, and I will have math problems like 10 plus 4 equals blank, and I'm going to have those cut out in white paper, and I'm going to give them to the students to cut out and glue on their flashcard. So then each student will have a different math problem on each animal, and the students, when they're done coloring them, I'm going to laminate them, and then we're going to use them at math center time with dry erase markers for the students to practice their math.
I won't see the password. You have to be quiet. Come here. Let me show you my hand.
Sorry, the standard for that was to add and subtract within 20 and relate a counting to addition and subtraction. So for music time, we are going to watch this video, and I love these videos. We're going to have the students watch it first. My son is in 1st grade, and he absolutely loves to watch this video over and over. And this is the chore parody by the Peterson brothers. So I'm just going to show a little bit of it. Oh, there's kind of an intro part, so we can kind of skip over that. And I think this really shows kids what goes on the farm.
I used to help feed cattle last night, pitching hay in the bunk just like my dad. Now I'm
so in my dance for this, they're going to pretend to pitch hay, and like this one, in this part, they're gonna like put their hands up, questioning why or how they get the big juicy steaks.
Then the silage fills it all the way. The wagon churns, I pull ahead.
So that's just part of it, and then they get to see what life really is like on the farm with real tractors and real cows and stuff like that. So here's my dance moves. So first they're going to put their hands up, asking what when they ask where the beef comes from, and then they're going to point at themselves because they're going to pretend they're the farmer, and then they're going to pitch the hay, and then when it talks about the spinning the silage in the feeder wagon, they're going to spin slow in a circle. So then for the chorus part, they're going to act like a cow for 16 beats, and then they're going to do the disco, and then they're going to look left and right. And that goes with the standard choose movements that express an idea or emotion or follow a musical phrase. So after that, then we're going to do a popsicle stick farm animals for a puppet show. And the example that I looked at was this. And I think the kids would have a lot of fun. And they can make up their own play too. I'm going to use it for... we're going to reread the book, The Big Red Barn, and then have the students put the animals in the barn as they appear in the story. So we need each of the characters, which is the cat, dog, cow, mouse, hen, pig, rooster, goat, donkey, sheep, horse, kitten, puppy, and a barn for them all to go in. So if I have more than 13 children, I will double up on each animal, and they can put 2 animals of the same in there. Or we could have, like, if there's the mama pig and then the baby pig to kind of go along with it. And that is uses safe uses of materials, tools, and procedures to create works of art or design. So that was for art. Oh, sorry, I forgot my drama standard was identify similarities and differences in elements and physical expression through sounds, movements, gestures, and a guided drama experience. And that again was the animal gestures where they pantomime an animal. So my science and social studies, for science, the standard is to read text and use media to determine patterns in behavior of parents and offspring that help offspring survive. So we're going to watch this video and discuss. This is a video of a cow or a baby calf drinking from its mama cow. So we're going to show that the baby calf needs to do that to survive. Otherwise, they're not going to get the nutrients they need and they will die. And for social studies, my standard is describe ways in which people modify and adapt to their environment. And so my activity is going to be where does our food come from? And since I live on a farm, we're going to take a field trip there. I will obviously make sure to send out permission forms and get them all signed by the parents before we go. And when we get to the farm, we're going to look at the cows and the calves in the field and talk about what they eat. So that's going to go with our science standard to see what they do to survive. And then we're going to look around to see if we can see any birds to talk about and how them and their young would live in the wild and how animals would live, just to find out the difference. Obviously, for farm animals, what the answer I'm looking for is that the farmer feeds them most of the time or gives them the grass that they need, where animals in the wild have to go find it themselves. And then we are going to go look at the crops in the field and talk about how they are planted. And we'll talk about how people on the farm have had to adapt to their environment by, and I'll show them, we have all the equipment like discs and planters and combines, and show them all the equipment to show what farmers have to do to modify their environment to plant the crops that they need, or the fences they need to build so their cows don't get out. And I think that's it. So hopefully they would have fun with it. Farm animals are my favorite thing. So that's it. Thank you for listening.